2025. It feels like just yesterday we were celebrating his departure. Yet here we are again, staring down the barrel of a Trump presidency. For Black and Latino communities, the feeling isn't just déjà vu. It's a punch to the gut. We know this story, we've seen this movie. And let me tell you, the sequel is never as good as the original. This time, the stakes are higher. Trump's 2025 agenda reads like a greatest hits album of policies designed to marginalize and disenfranchise communities of color. From gutting social safety nets to weaponizing the justice system, the message is clear: we are not welcome. This isn't about making America great again. This is about turning back the clock to a time when people like me, when communities like mine, knew their place. But here's the thing, we're not going back. We've fought too hard, we've come too far, and we're not about to let one man, one administration, erase our progress. This isn't just about politics, this is about our lives, this is about our families, this is about our future, and we're going to fight like hell to protect it. We've got to understand this isn't a game, this is our reality now. And the only way to face it is head on, together. We need to be organized, we need to be mobilized, we need to be loud, we need to make sure our voices are heard, that our stories are told, and that our power is felt. First on the Trump administration's chopping block, the things that help families like mine survive. We're talking about cuts to affordable housing, leaving folks out on the streets. We're talking about slashing SNAP benefits, which means empty stomachs and hungry kids. This isn't about fiscal responsibility, it's about cruelty. It's about punishing the most vulnerable among us. Then there's the environment. We know climate change hits communities of color the hardest. But instead of investing in clean energy and protecting our air and water, Trump's EPA is rolling back regulations, letting corporations pollute our neighborhoods. They call it deregulation. I call it environmental racism. They're literally poisoning our communities, and they don't even have the decency to look us in the eye while they do it. And let's not forget about jobs. Trump talks a big game about bringing back manufacturing. But what about investing in our communities, in education, in job training programs? Instead, he's pushing tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations that ship jobs overseas. It's the same old trickle-down economics that's been failing us for decades. The message is loud and clear. If you're black or brown in Trump's America, don't expect a helping hand. Don't expect a fair shot. Expect to be ignored, neglected, and left behind. Remember those horrifying images of children in cages at the border? Well, get ready for round two. Trump's immigration policy is simple: cruelty as a deterrent. He's talking about mass deportations, ripping families apart and sending people back to countries they barely remember. He's talking about building more detention camps, more human warehouses where people are treated like animals. They try to justify it by saying they're just enforcing the law. But these are human beings we're talking about, people with hopes and dreams, with families and loved ones, people who contribute to our communities and make this country what it is. But to Trump and his supporters, they're nothing but criminals and invaders. And let's not forget about the Muslim ban. Trump's trying to make it permanent, barring people from entering the country based solely on their religion. This isn't about keeping America safe. This is about bigotry, plain and simple. It's about fear-mongering and division. It's about turning our backs on the very values that make America great. If there's one thing Trump can't stand, it's people fighting for justice. That's why he's got his sights set on dismantling the very institutions meant to protect us. He's talking about overhauling the Justice Department, turning it into a weapon to silence dissent and target activists. He's talking about weaponizing civil rights legislation, using it to attack affirmative action and diversity initiatives. He's even got his cronies in the FCC trying to censor the media and control the flow of information. And let's not forget about education. Trump and his education secretary are on a mission to whitewash history, banning books and curricula that teach about racism and inequality. They're trying to erase the struggles of marginalized communities to pretend that systemic oppression doesn't exist. They want to keep us ignorant, divided, and fighting amongst ourselves. This is a full-blown assault on our democracy. They're trying to silence our voices, to erase our history, and to deny our humanity. But we can't let them win. We need to rise up and resist this agenda every step of the way. We need to march, protest, and vote like our lives depend on it, because they do.